from mocking female comedians.
Men are intimidated by funny women, so we didn't want them in the room. That's a joke.
To being physically disgusted by interviewers.
You are, it's horrible. It feels worse than it looks.
Here are 12 times Ricky Gervais roasted people on talk shows. But let's start with Ricky Gervais on The View in 2018, when Ricky schooled Joy Behar on his style of comedy.
Well, when you go on the Golden Globes, a lot of time you are politically incorrect and hilarious, of course.
Thank you.
And so,
Thank you.
So this is...
Well... yes, the classic "you're politically incorrect" setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about offence, isn't it? When people say they're offended, it's that just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offence is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality. So what? You know, so you can't second-guess people. If you try and please everyone, you'll please no one.
Sorry, that's not how it works. If offense equals correctness, then guess what? Every person who's ever lost an argument was actually the winner. That's how participation trophies were invented.
With comedy as well, I think you've got to deal with taboos and contentious issues, and sometimes you deal in irony, and some people don't get that, but you know, you can't legislate against stupidity, otherwise you'll be doing nothing. So if you're saying anything, you should polarise. You should polarise, because everyone's different.
Because explaining irony to some people is like teaching a goldfish algebra. They nod, they blink, and then they say something even dumber. So Ricky, he's done trying.
Although he wasn't there this year. No, I do like that, because I do like confronting that, because I think it takes the audience to a place it hasn't been before. And it can be a mutual backslapping, you know, fest, fine, but don't televise it, you know, because I'm not doing it for the 200 egos in the room. I'm doing it for the 200 million people watching around who aren't winning awards.
If you're not already convinced he doesn't care about Joy's opinions, watch what he says next.
Now it's my favourite thing. I could give everything else up, because it's such a privilege, and freedom of speech is so important these days. And you've got to, you know, I've reached the age now where I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? It's like,
welcome aboard,
what's the worst that can happen?
Welcome aboard.
I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
So I'm offended. I'm going to die. So what?
Translation: zero given. At this point, the entire conversation could have been avoided if interviewers just Googled Ricky Gervais before inviting him. But nope. While this interview was tame enough, things would get wilder the next time Ricky made an appearance.
Are you a germaphobe? Are you not a hugger? No hugging, no touching, you're germaphobe?
No, they said keep it quick, just go and sit down.
Oh, okay, so we can touch you?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, I'm like, wow, we just thought you were huggy.
Because you gave hugs the last time you were here.
I feel like a strippergram.
Who's got $1?
Now, if you thought all that touching was weird, you're not alone. A fan commented, "He's sexist," right after they grope him. Trust me, buddy, the irony is not lost on us. The sexist comment came when the hosts pressed about why there were no women in his HBO special. Ricky had two choices: backtrack or double down.
So I want to ask you about the HBO special, Talking Funny. We just saw a clip from it, right? So we got Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Louis C.K. No women comedians on that panel?
Who would you replace?
He didn't even need to think before he shot back with the question.
No, because it was four people.
It's just four people.
Yeah, so who would you take off?
I wouldn't. I would just add.
There you go.
These are his favorites. He has the right.
I think that you're right. We don't have a male on our
When
panel,
I do
so
a
we're kind
special
of
like
guilty.
that, I will do it with
Yeah,
women.
no, exactly. They're my friends, and I chose my friend. Oh,
When you're dealing with overly sensitive talk show panels, nothing can just be funny. The joke barely landed before the hosts jumped right back in.
and also, men are intimidated by funny women, so we didn't want them in the room. That's a joke.
I take everything you say seriously.
But the woke hosts just didn't stop grilling him.
Jerry Lewis famously said at one point that he didn't think women were funny. Do you think women are funny?
What's the difference? That's ridiculous.
It's a different sensibility.
Statistically, less women go into stand-up from what I've seen, so there's probably less to choose from. But yeah, there are loads of funny women. I've worked with loads of funny women. Of course I have. There's loads of funny women here.
On the same show, they tried to diss his Golden Globes speeches.
Really around since the Golden Globes, where
They
you
keep
were
it a low profile.
Yeah, well, they attacked you, but they said that you were mean and rude, and you were surprised at that.
Was he actually mean and rude, or was Joy just trying to put him on the spot?
Referring to Sex and the City 2, you said, I was sure the Golden Globe would go to the team that airbrushed that poster.
Yeah.
A little sexist.
No, it's not. Why is it sexist?
Well, because you're saying that the girls are older and they need to be airbrushed.
No, I think they look great at their age.
Oh.
Why hide it?
Oh.
I don't think that you lose your sensuality or beauty because you hit 53.
There you go, Joy. Interpret the joke before you label it sexist. And Joy Behar isn't the only one obsessed with his opening monologues on the Golden Globes. Ellen DeGeneres had similar questions for Ricky.
You really do say whatever pops into your mind. I know you prepare, but you also just whatever you feel like saying, you say.
Yeah, that's the fun of it, really, because sometimes I don't know what's going to happen. So
right.
Ricky could not have been more direct. Like, yes, he speaks his mind, what about it? But Ellen tries to grill him for drinking, too.
Yeah.
That's good.
And you always have a beverage in your hand. You're drinking most of the night.
Yeah. If I didn't drink, I wouldn't be brave enough to say some of the things I'm going to say.
I see. So at what hour do you start drinking before the show?
Well, it starts very early. So I probably have a little one.
He has an answer for literally everything, and he is not ashamed. At this point, Ricky Gervais has made it very clear. He doesn't play by Hollywood's delicate, woke-friendly rules. So what happens when he sits down with someone as wholesome and positive as Jimmy Fallon?
Brent is back. I want to talk about it because this is going to be, I love that character.
Oh, thank you very much.
You look great, by the way.
I look great?
Yeah.
Is that sarcasm?
No, it wasn't.
Well, let's just say Jimmy learned the hard way that even a simple compliment can turn into a full-blown Ricky Gervais rant.
You see, this is the thing with you, it's a talk show. Oh, you look great, even though, look at me. Of course I don't look great. Look, I'm worse than last time. Last time we talked about getting old and losing my hair and distended testicles. And now it's 6 months later, so now it is worse because I'm getting fat again.
Oh, he did not let that one go.
I'm putting on weight again because I'm eating too much. I'm not one of these people that makes excuses that says, oh, it's glandular. It's never glandular, right? But oh, it's big bones. Yeah, big bones covered in meat and gravy. That's what gets people fat.
Maybe just have less calories or stop eating
no,
or
I'm
drinking.
No, I'm not going to stop eating and drinking. No, what's the point?
That's right. Keep your unsolicited advice to yourself, Jimmy. Another Tonight Show host found himself victim to Ricky's humor in 2011.
Nice to have you here.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Yeah.
Nice new studio.
This is new. This is a new experience, yes.
Yeah, it's great to...
Giant moon, big fake moon behind you.
Actually, the studio was easier to find than the channel on the TV.
Conan tried to match Ricky's humor, but he got one-upped almost immediately.
But I persevered.
Yeah, it takes a while.
I didn't know there were that many channels, to be honest.
I didn't until we came to this channel. I didn't realize, and I'll be honest with you, I sometimes forget where we are in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
What are we on here?
I have no idea. I always get stuck on the costume jewelry, and then I just...
And then he goes on to list every channel he had to look through.
You go through that, you keep going, you go to costume jewelry, eyebrow plucking channel, and you know.
And then eventually you find...
Osama bin Laden's got a chat show just before yours.
It's very good. He's killing us with the bookings.
And as the show went on, he talked about doing his own comedy show and thinking about potential showrunners.
I'd love just, chatting. The Ricky Gervais show started off with a podcast with just two mates just chatting. I just love that. I just think that you can go anywhere with it. So I'd like to do one, with showrunners,
with talk show hosts.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets tricky. The list has everyone's name, except one.
Craig Ferguson, he's great. Jimmy Fallon.
Right. And then what if you expanded it and got even more people in there? You could probably...
Larry Sanders.
Okay, Larry Sanders is fictional.
So, I'm ready.
Come on!
George Lopez.
Yes!
Yeah.
Aw, was Conan expecting to be on that list? Too bad, I guess. But what's even more sad is, he starts roasting himself.
I could come out at some point and just bring you all tea, and then you could dismiss me. Run along. I start to talk. No, not a word. Out you go. Out you go, you chimney sweep.
Is that an English accent?
Yes. Hello, governor.
Brilliant. Thank you, Dick Van Dyke.
I'll give him credit. At least he's being a good sport about it. And the public agrees. One guy commented, "Oh my god, seeing Conan's breakdown and Ricky's reaction to it was so friggin' funny. I just love how far it goes, and they both just roll with it. In 2006, Ricky went on to the show Friday Night with Jonathan Ross, and he called out Jonathan for some of his misguided comments.
Ricky Gervais, ladies and gentlemen. Ricky, it's weird, it's genuine, it's exciting, and a pleasure to have you back. You've been on this show so many times, it's like you're my sidekick or something here.
Yeah.
Now, a new
Just show clips.
He clearly did not like that comment, but Jonathan messes up even more.
Congratulations on getting a second series, essentially, but also...
Congratulations on already up. It's next week, you moron.
And when Ricky tried explaining his show, Jonathan was pretty dumbfounded for a seasoned film reviewer.
It's a more traditional sitcom. It looks a bit postmodern with the sort of meta level of, you know, a play within a play, but it's, yeah, we think it's funnier. You're a film reviewer, you should know these words.
That was like a proper answer to a proper question then.
I know, so you'll cut it out.
No.
Ricky's quick wit never fails to surprise us. At this point, interviewers should really know better than to try and keep up with Ricky Gervais. But throw Russell Brand into the mix, now you've got pure chaos. And that's exactly what happened when an unprepared host tried to wrangle these two on live TV.
A lot of people are having a good deal of fun, including these two gents, Russell Brand and Ricky Gervais. Try and behave yourself, gentlemen, if you can.
Do that again and do the names.
No, I'm not doing it again. That's fine.
Like he's Russell Brand, I'm Ricky Gervais.
I think people can work this out.
Yeah.
I think people can work it out. The short one and the tall one, so don't worry about that. Now, as far as you're concerned,
which is which?
I don't know. I haven't worked that out yet.
Right out of the gate, he's already flustered. He messes up their names, tries to restart, and Ricky, he smells blood.
That's his attack. That's his first attack on you, Ricky.
Oh,
What's he
yeah.
going to say about me?
Hiatus.
Right. Okay, should we talk about something else now?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, climate change, all right?
Okay.
Are you here tonight just to enjoy the content?
I'm
and
not here
obviously
tonight.
To do the job?
I'm not even here tonight. He is. This is live. This is pre-recorded.
Right, okay. Well, this is all going horribly wrong.
You asked us.
I know.
Before the guy can even regain his footing, Ricky and Russell are already roasting him.
I'm regretting it now. I'm regretting it now.
No, it's a pleasure to be here, and everyone here is an absolute professional.
Except him. It's a shambles. Are you drunk?
Not yet.
And when the host attempts to pivot, ooh, it gets worse.
Now, climate change then. You know, is it something that you're interested in, or are you just here for the booze?
He's not holding that microphone.
Perched.
I should tell you what his other hand's doing.
All right, no, never mind. Look, it's holding this, so don't worry about that. Don't believe everything you hear from this man. I'll ask you, climate change. Is it something you think seriously about?
You're the principal one.
Right.
Imagine that.
Climate change, sure. Let's talk about that. Because what's the perfect way to regain control of a chaotic interview?
Seriously, guys.
Okay, no, seriously.
Right? Do you really think that this sort of concept makes any difference whatsoever? There's a message out there, climate change. You guys are here having a good time. Everyone else is in the audience.
I haven't seen a worse interviewer. He can't take the humor cues, and the guy just keeps pushing over the same question. This next interview is the most watched interaction between Ricky Gervais and Australian celebrity interviewer Brad Blanks. Ricky Gervais and Brad Blanks have hilariously butted heads many times, but in 2013, on the red carpet for Netflix's Orange is the New Black, things went off the rails.
Alright, there's Ricky over there. He's already heckling me. Thanks, Ricky.
Classic Ricky, starting off with a savage roast.
And I need a beer.
All right.
I'm not driving back. I mean, I had a driver. Of course I had a driver. Of
course.
Now I'm just showing off.
Yeah,
It's a really big car.
really big car. With all this Netflix money, of course.
Exactly. Oh, Netflix.
Leave it to Ricky to boast his own wealth to make the interviewer feel like crap. But then, the handshake happens.
It's wonderful to see you again.
Thank you very much. Junior, you are. It's horrible. It feels worse than it looks. Imagine that. Just think of that. So look at that, right? And then imagine it feels and smells worse than it looks.
Watching that made me feel uncomfortable. Nobody wants to shake a sweaty hand, but poor Brad. Ricky and Brad's toxic relationship dates all the way back to a 2008 HBO interview.
What is Ellen's doing? All right, no, never mind. Look, it's holding this, so don't worry about that. Don't believe everything you hear from this man. Climate change. I'll ask you. Climate change. Is it something you think seriously about? You're the preferable one.
But you know what's worse than Ricky calling you a honey monster? Your wife calling you a honey monster.
The preferable one.
Right. Imagine that. Someone would
you've
rather talk to you than someone else.
This is quite a mark on your character that he's turned to me. Yeah, of course I care about climate change. Now, as individuals, we can do an awful lot. You, for example, you're going to have to change the way you're living your lifestyle. Don't look all cynical.
How do you know I live? How do you know how I live my lifestyle?
No, it's important. It's don't care about nothing.
He practically handed Ricky that opportunity.
Right, okay, but seriously, guys.
Okay, no, seriously.
Right, do you really think that this sort of concept makes any difference whatsoever?
Ricky and Brad go to great lengths to make everyone think they can't stand each other. Then there was the interviewer who brought up the British version of The Office. But Ricky was quick to correct her.
You play, in the UK version of The Office, play the boss. What is the weirdest excuse that you've ever heard?
You say the UK version.
Yeah.
I call it the original.
Yes, well done. You're well done. Well done. It's true. Wow.
There isn't a more savage way to say this, and this Steve Carell feud has been going on for ages. At the 2009 Golden Globes, he went straight for Steve Carell. Ricky started off introducing himself, but in true Ricky fashion, it came with a twist.
You probably know me as the creator of The Office. No, you don't, do you?
You think Steve Carell did it all? Oh, he's brilliant, isn't he, Steve Carell?
Apparently, writing, directing, and starring in the original UK version means nothing when Hollywood finds a guy with a wider smile and better hair. But what really stings? The way Hollywood worships Steve Carell like a comedic genius.
He's amazing as the bumbling office manager. Where does he get his ideas from?
Where does he get his ideas from? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the original show that was already written for him? And this whole fiasco continued on the Emmys. Winning an Emmy is the biggest moment of a performer's career, unless, of course, you're Ricky Gervais. Back in 2008, he won for Extras, but wasn't there, so they just gave it to Steve Carell. A year later, Ricky wanted it back.
Hello. It's great to be here at the Emmys, the most prestigious TV award show in the world. I couldn't come last year, which was a shame, but I still won. Do you remember? Thanks for that.
He definitely wasn't about to pretend like his win was some major achievement, especially if someone else was handed it. But Ricky came with receipts.
Here's a short VT as a guide to help you.
Ricky Gervais couldn't be here tonight, so instead we're going to give this to our friend Steve Carell.
Was that necessary?
Look at his stupid face. Couldn't actually win one of his own, so he stole someone else's. I don't think that is actually the original Emmy. I think that's a shoddy remake. Where is he? Where is he?
Now, let's be real. Steve didn't actually steal anything. He was just holding on to it. But according to Ricky, Steve was out here flashing that Emmy like a VIP pass.
Have you got it on you? I've heard you carry it around with you to get in restaurants and stuff. I made you what? Don't look at me. I'm gone off road. Everyone's getting nervous now. There's nothing on the auto cue. I could do anything. This is live.
That last part sounded a lot like a serious threat. And what kept Ricky going? Probably Steve Carell's death stare from the front row. One fan said, "Steve's face looks like he's ready to declare bankruptcy."
I made you what you are and I get nothing back. Have you even been to see Ghost Town yet? No. I sat through Heaven Almighty. Give me my Emmy. Give me my Emmy. I'll come down there.
And Ricky wasn't bluffing, because look what he does next.
Give me it.
I'll tickle you. I don't care. I've got nothing to lose here. I'm a nobody here. Where is it? Yes, you have. Stop. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Give me it.
Tickling someone for an Emmy? Forget Hollywood's usual polite staged moments. And Steve, he was not making this easy.
Give me the Emmy. Give me the Emmy. Give me it. Give me the... Thank you.
Mission accomplished. Ricky had officially stolen back his own award. And if you like this video about Ricky Gervais roasting interviewers, you'll love this next video. Click here to watch.